Good afternoon, Brian with Grand Roofing, doing a quick roof leak inspection that might help you guys out there. If you're scratching your head trying to figure out how do I find a roof leak, you may have found the right video, so stick around, we'll get right into it. Today is July 30th. There we go, July 30th, 2024. Typically, you're going to see obvious damage. After a storm, you might have a leak, but if you got that hard to find leak that pops up, you found the right video. So on the way in, smash the thumbs up button. We'll get right into it. So right over in this area, first thing we do is see what's going on. Find the leak inside. I don't know a whole lot about the property. It was in my travels, so we're working it in. Literally, I was going down a country road right there. We're here checking this out real quick. So right over by the flat bar, the general area, I go inside the house, see a little spot developing, and nip it in the butt, get it done before it does a lot of damage. So right where my ladder is the front door. There's a dividing wall right here. And about 2 foot over, there's a window. In about 5 feet, there's a little spot, just a very small spot popping up. I don't have my tools over the area because I wanted you to see. This is the general spot right here. You don't see anything unless you've got a trained eye and you know what you're looking for. So aside of missing shingles, when leaks occur after about, 7 to 15 years, you're gonna look at a keyway where two shingles come together. Where two shingles butt up, typically what happens is there's gonna be a nail in that area and the water gets in this, it's protected by the headlap of the shingle below it. So when you have a penetration there, it over time will rust out, causing an issue. I've checked these few areas in this general area, not there. It's not a problem, but I did see this right away. Anyone see it yet? Homeowners, DIYers, you're looking for little things like this. It's kind of a little anomaly, but if you get close and you look at it, what that is actually a nail head that was not driven down all the way, or a nail pop that worked its way up over time. Typically, they're underdriven. Let me explain. I'll explain it real quick, and then we'll get into the proof is in the pudding, so to say, the evidence of why I'm pretty confident that's the issue. So when a nail works its way up, typically over time, temperature, works way out a little bit, unless it's ring shank. That's just the creme de la creme. All right, so why am I confident this was just a poor nail placement, installation? When a nail works its way up, it comes up vertically. And yeah, sorry, orange Band-Aid kind of flashy. I sliced my hand on some metal panels earlier. So this nail, it's cocked at an angle. Typically when roofers are doing installs, they're not cautious of their pressure, their gauge, the angle, which way they're moving their hand. Maybe they're moving it too quick and the nail hits and kind of comes over. Whatever the case may be, if the nails are not down where they need to be and flat, sometimes they're over or up or not driven down far enough. Temperature, varying factors cause this. I can't see my screen, so much sun on my face. Hopefully I'm filming. If they're up at an angle over time or up at all period, the hot sun baking down your shingles over time will relax the asphalt in the shingle, and the nail is holding it up, and it's just like it doesn't have enough surface tension spread out or a sloped angle. It'll eventually pop up right through. Well, it doesn't pop up. The shingles actually come down. It'll tear the mat, and it looks like the nail's popped up, but it was just never driven down. Let me get a little close up so you can see. So if you look at this, it's raised up more on this side, same here on this one here. Now I popped this shingle loose because we're gonna fix it, or I'm gonna take care of it for real quick. But if you look under here, what I was saying, the proof is in the pudding. Do you see that dirty water trail? No different than you would see coming in a keyway right here. Over time you'll see water, and that's why you don't want nails in that area, because you get a little bit of water, lateral water movement here. Due to surface tension, it just wicks up under. Again, it's perfectly fine because it will run out here because the headlap of the shingle covers under there. But over time, those nails will waller out. They're just galvanized coating on the nail, chemical process. Over time, they'll waller out, rust out, whatever. But you now have a penetration through the asphalt. You have water hitting this over a prolonged period of time, and it can kind of trickle in and drop a little spot onto your ceiling right there. So both of these. I haven't popped this one up. You can see it's still sealed down. I get the flat bar and stuff. So what I'm going to do is I took a flat bar, carefully split the shingle loose by working its way up under. A tip on that, try to do it not under a single but a double laminate area, so where the two shingles are stacked, there's two pieces. You can typically split into it a little easier there than right here. Sometimes you might tear. Once you get it in, depending upon the temperature, what time you're doing this, you can kind of work sideways, out and down, and kind of split that seal strip. You're wanting to do that to get the shingle loose enough to flex up to take care of the issue. We will reseal it. You have to seal it down, otherwise it'll just blow in the wind because the seal strip is now compromised. If you want to do the whole thing as far as like take this seal strip loose, remove this shingle, put new ones in, you can do that. This is a freebie for this homeowner to make a video for you guys. I'm going to drive the nails down. We're going to put a bead of sealer on it. The sealer I'm using is GEOCEL brand 4500. It's one of the best products I use on a lot of my stuff. We use it for EPDM rubber roofs and shingles and things like that. You can also take a piece of aluminum step flashing and shim it under there. Basically, you're allowing water to shed, not get to that nail, and come off. Or you can just go the route of replacing it. But this is the front of the house. I don't have shingles on the truck. Even if you had the same one after 13 years, 2013 was when the roof was installed, they said. Even if you had the same shingle, they're gonna be off in color, and I don't wanna do that. So I'm opting to, again, freebie, split this loose, pound that down. And you can also see right here, back to at an angle right here. You can see that it's sticking up more on one side than the other. The nail was just driven in slightly at an angle. It did not work up. If left unaddressed, that will start to rust out, then it could pop up, come loose, and you have a bigger leak develop. So back to the repair we're gonna do. We're gonna try to drive that down a little bit, get it flat, put some 4500 in there. By the way, I will link this in the section below on Google or Amazon where you can find it. It's not the cheapest, but hey, what's cheap nowadays after COVID? We're gonna seal it up under here, gently push this down. You won't see much anything unless you know where to look and you come up on the roof and you see that, because it'll all be there, just be sealed. We're gonna do both of these here. And then again, like I said, make sure the shingle is resealed and tacked down after a couple hours. It'll be dry and fine, won't have any issues. But you want to verify that is the issue, check the general area, make sure you look through a couple of keyways. Something else on that note, I've showed this in other videos, but we'll show it here. Without splitting the seal strip to look, this one's loose, but this one's not. You can typically get something under there, your finger, a flat bar, and lift. And you might be able to see, oops, I'm not even in the right view, and it popped loose. Let me try another one that's sealed down good. That's loose, that's kind of sealed, but so if you look right here carefully, what you're gonna watch for is this shingle gonna give or pivot? And where it pivots, you want to watch. If it pivots, say here, there's probably a nail there. If it pivots here or doesn't move at all, there's probably a nail on that spot. So get under it and just lift a little bit. You see how it goes? I bet the nail's about right here. And just for sake of this video, I'm going to split this and reseal it just because I want to show you. It's actually just a little further than I thought, right to the left of my thumb right there. And that's plenty far out of the way, but that's a good way to check and see if there's a nail in the spot without splitting the keyway. So we're gonna make sure to reseal this off for the customer as well. I'll try to do this real fast, on camera, uncut, unedited. I don't have a way to hold my phone. So just gonna flex this up a little bit. Don't damage it for all those out there. Okay, we're gonna address something here. For all those storm restoration guys, the guys that don't do the work, the guys that sell it, sub it, whatever. It's a business model itself, I'm not knocking it. But what I can't stand is the amount of people out there on YouTube that say, oh, the brittle test, which is when you take this shingle and you flex it to the point you can't do a repair because you damage the shingle. Now, let's be honest here. Okay, mobile hotspot disconnected. Thought it was phone overheating. These people flex the shingle so far they're intentionally trying to snap it. You can do repairs on this stuff. It's not that big of a deal. Are there some that you just move and they snap? Yes, but go out there and do a quick shingle brittle test, YouTube search, get ready to go down the rabbit hole, because these people don't know what they're doing. They don't want to do repair work. They just want to be a paper pusher and subcontract the whole job out. On that note, by the way, real quick, if you're a homeowner and you've been convinced to file a claim, and after some time your contractor went MIA, probably got sloped out. What that means is they're not covering the whole roof, they're covering a slope or a section that's damaged, and there's not enough profit margin to pay the subcontract crew all the overhead profit margins and everything, and the salesman. So they disappear. This has happened a lot. People come to me because, and that's how I find out. 95% of the time it's sloped out, they just MIA, they move on and knock the next door. So, brittle test, all right? I can get in here and do a repair if you're careful and you know what you're doing. Most of the time, I'm serious, do this when this video is over. They're gonna take this shingle from here and fold it up 90 degrees. You don't need to go 90 degrees. Yeah, it's gonna snap, okay? So, brittle test. Let's go back to this and try to knock this out real quick as a freebie for them and you. Gently lift this carefully. You're gonna get a hammer in here, and it doesn't take much. a technique. You're trying to like swing your hammer into that area. By the way, this is AJC Mag Hatchet, one of the other tools I just use all the time. But if you look here, now it's down pretty flat. It's smooth enough where there's not going to be an issue. When you mix that with a good sealer around that area, a couple dabs here and there, not a big line, but a few dabs. And this gets pressed down into there. That will start to set, cure, dry. Any water that gets in this little area here will be fine because there's so much sealer right under that area. Coating the nail and up under and just mushed in, it's not going to be an issue. It'll take care of that. We're going to take care of this one basically the same exact way. Seal that shingle I split over there for you guys. And we're going along over 11 minutes now. Time to wrap the video up. You guys, if you're a homeowner, DIYer, it doesn't matter. If you got any benefit, if you could, give it a quick thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing, ring the bell notification down below so you're notified when I do this again for you guys. Simple engagement like that lets YouTube know to recommend it to other people that are looking for this kind of content. Not a bunch of idiots out there that, yeah, don't even say. You've been down the rabbit hole. You know what I'm talking about. As always, until next time, be safe, and we'll see you on the next video.